Video is intended to describe a lightblade talisman named Abundance, which would be the 49th rendition. Joining me today will be my whimsical stick figure chakra map. I'll be referencing quite a bit for various chakra stimulation in the crystalline ignition sequence order. And as a good foundational preface, I'll discuss the primary blade band scaffolding vaguely resembling a figure 8, which is developed to recirculate the containment field of the energy of this entire little wearable apparatus. Starting off with the transmutation ratio seen right here, consisting of both hematite and smoky quartz. Hematite is a fantastic iron-based mineral that takes all excess stray radial energy, firmly grounds it through the root chakra into the earth stars, into the earth for reprocessing, in tandem with smoky quartz providing the same energetic stimuli to further ground all excess energy by high stimulation of the root chakra and the earth stars to, once again, tap into the earth meridian matrix for etheric dialysis. So the two in tandem are quite a staple in virtually all designations of light tech and distribution for that critical feature, to provide a very strong grounding purification point as well as a quite contingent element to indeed ensure the magic is real. By taking the entirety of the overture of the energy and running it through the sequence seen laterally like so, up the side, laterally right here, and down here is its own quadrant of the transmutation ratio, which works very diligently to rapidly disperse and ground into the earth stars at a very high ratio. As well as it's, of course, with that kind of rapid etheric dialysis disposition, it's very, very discouraging for negative energy to stick in the field. And that is quite simply why, it's quite evident why I say this, is named transmutation, to transmute negativity into positivity through rapid reprocessing. I always repeat myself quite intentionally for that particular sequence because it's quite important to really get that cataloged in any dissertation. Then towards the apex of the construct is the coherence ratio. Starting off with fluorite, seen right here, which is a very fantastic third eye stimulant, is also quite impeccable for maintaining coherence, hence it's quite contingent for the archetypal name as well. So the aspect of fluorite mitigates chaotic, stray, disparate energies, particularly in concern with the right and left hemisphere interference. So it promotes very much whole brain thinking, which is indicative of the activated, awakened third eye with less interference to maintain mental coherence. Then right here will be tourmalated quartz to be a perfect subcapacitation agent for this sequence. So clear quartz works as a natural amplification of other frequencies in a termination sequence, but with the black tourmaline in here, it makes for a natural amplification of black tourmaline. Black tourmaline is another quite famous black ray crystal in vogue in this timeline for, once again, transmuting negativity by firmly grounding the earth stars into the earth for reprocessing. So it makes for a perfect subcapacitation agent between this frequency to amplify purification and also be a neutral way with clear quartz to carry the current very succinctly and very smoothly. Going into lapis lazuli, seen right here. Lapis is a fantastic crystal of antiquity of utilization for various schools of magic, which I will omit because that'd be a very long tangent, but the aspect makes it pragmatic here is lapis a fantastic window mental 5th and 6th chakra stimulant of one's sovereign highest truth. Hence it's a classic crystal, is a favorite of millions for thousands of years for a very good reason. Going into tourmalated quartz, into fluorite, tourmalated quartz, lapis, and so on, grounding back into the transmutation scaffolding. Now the primary blade band seen right here is that of the abundance ratio, hence this is the 49th proper entry is in the field as an independent platform. Starting off with root-talated quartz to work as a, just like mentioned with the tourmalated quartz, a clear quartz base makes for fantastic neutral amplification of a sequence, but the bands of rutile in here makes for a massive acceleration, intensification of other frequencies in the same ignition octave. So that makes for a very fantastic neutral way to amplify and carry the frequency of abundance at a very high ratio. Then going into moss green agate seen right here, which is the most stabilizing terrestrial 4th heart chakra water elemental composition in the mineral kingdom to provide a very strong stabilization of, which is quite contingent actually for the massive exaggeration of the heart chakra seen in the rest ignition sequence to most importantly stabilize that in the green ray water elemental format is quite the merit to intensify the tangibility of the magical endeavor set in stone with this little guy right here. Then going into golden healer quartz, which is a fantastic gold white light source alignment frequency emanation attunement. So having the high heart activation of direct source attunement is very self-evidently advantageous. That's why it's quite integral and crucial for the abundance ignition sequence. To have direct gold white light source attunement emanation is its own merit. Then going into peridot. Peridot is a very fantastic third and fourth chakra stimulant, that of what I equivalent to the frequency of chlorophyll. How, of course, all this is possible. So with that very earthy positive vibration, it makes for a very fantastic abundance frequency imbuement as well, and particularly towards positive enlightened action towards one's highest disposition or dharmic template of abundance. Then going into root-weighted quartz once again to super intensify the sequence into the classic famous emerald. Emerald is a quintessential heart chakra stimulant mineral kingdom of the beryl family, of about 8.5 out of 10 the hardness scale. So that means the intense atomical vibration of emerald is the densest, most potent green ray heart chakra stimulant mineral kingdom, well enjoyed in the annals of history and antiquity as a true precious stone that most mortals have heard of for that good reason. Then going into golden healer quartz, into moss green agate, then root-weighted quartz, into peridot, then into golden healer quartz, and so on, completing the sequence, grounding back into the transmutation scaffolding, serve as a common ground for the primary blade band and the apex blade band to work as of course, a way to take this entire overture of excess energy and firmly channel the energy into the tangible range of Earth by design. So that would be just the figure 8 blade band scaffolding seen right here, now mentioned in great detail. And it of course works as a containment field to recirculate the excess pitch of all the other components or organs of this crystalline entity yet to be mentioned. Starting off with the apex down here of that of amber. Though technically not a mineral, but a prehistoric tree sap resin, it has been metaphysically utilized as a fantastic frequency of abundance and a purification agent. Much like transmutation ratio, it works very diligently to clarify energy fields of any stuck densities, particularly any kind of negative attachments, things of that nature. It makes for a very sunny, positive vibration insulation, which is very, very conducive for transmuting negativity into positivity once again. Then right here on the blade facing, this would be classic red jasper, the quintessential root chakra, red ray, stimulant mineral kingdom to stabilize the root chakra, which is quite integral to general physical vitality, quite frankly. And so that's a fantastic crystal that is being well employed there to stabilize the entire overture into the tangibility range, which encourages a very strong physical body as well. Then above that would be another classic of favor of millions for thousands of years, that of turquoise. Turquoise is a fantastic fifth chakra stimulant, combining the elements of the terrestrial four elements of earth, fire, water, and wind. Hence, it's a true ancient grandfather ally that has been well praised across the world and is quite simply one of the most potent, dynamic, wholeness fifth chakra stimulants in the mineral kingdom. And it's very fantastic for general vitality levels, pranic balance, due to its harmonic natural state. Then on the other side, right here, would be tiger's eye. Tiger's eye is a fantastic solar plexus, sacrum, and root chakra stimulant that directly aligns lower three very effectively, which is very, very advantageous for equilibrium balance, particularly towards the lower scaffolding of the physical domain to integrate and bring this, of course, magic into further tangible action is the gift of tiger's eye. Then above that will be sunstone, which is a fantastic sunny vibration that works as a very nice fire stimulant of the solar plexus and the sacrum chakras. And it's quite simply a very, very beneficent, joyful, fun frequency that is very, very, very enthusiasm generating, and which goes intangibly perfect with the intensive green ray input of reception of ideal frequency of abundance in a stabilized fashion. It works as a nice kind of yang, if you would, to be the way to vibrate a very positive vibration to bless the exploits that receive abundance, quite simply. And so they've been quite contingent in virtually all the abundance light blades in various designations for that distinct complementary antithesis positive vibration projection. So this next section right here, I'll be discussing where the hood shall be installed. So this green leather hood, once this is fully cataloged, will be installed much like so for a very integral reason. So the aspect is far more than aesthetic, and this right here serves as a green ray, further heart chakra stimulation installation, and also a way to protect all the subtle stones seen under here while it's being worn as a talisman, but most critically actually, it works as an insulation agent to mitigate the lateral stray leakages of energy, like so the energy is more contained and more directed through the primary blade band and the apex band for a very distinct purpose of etheric efficiency. So that's now been covered. So, and of course, once it is fully installed, it does have an aesthetic appeal, but indeed is far more than looks for its distinct purpose. And right here, this would be black tektite, which is a product of meteorite impacting sand, which intrinsically carries that heaven to earth frequency into the earth realm. And so with that kind of black ray cosmic impact energy, it makes for very fortuitously a nice earth star vibrational foundational raising of vibrations for the entire auric field from the feet up, which is quite integral in virtually all devices for that distinctive tangible magic vibratory intensification, I guess you could say. And also, you could say it's also a way to fortify from the ground up a higher vibratory threshold, which is its own merit. Then right here would be a holy trinity of master healers I employ quite frequently together due to their compatible utilitarian light body healing capacity. Starting off with Star Argonite. Star Argonite is a calcium-based full light body stimulant that works very diligently to dismantle patterns of dis-ease found stored in the chakra column from top to bottom. In tandem with Tibetan black quartz from Tibet, which provides the same energetic stimuli to dramatically stimulate the entire light body from bottom to top once again, and dramatically expand the higher stellar gateway chakras, as well as expand the earth star simultaneously to quite simply be a toroidal field stimulant, a very high ohm resonance, which once again provides a pathway of clearing any node points of stagnancies and patterns of dis-ease from the field. Then right here would be Seraphinite, the last member of the Holy Trinity. Seraphinite is a green ray crystal named after the seraphim archangels, just like implied with the last two. Stimulates the entire full light body chakra column and works very diligently to dismantle once again patterns of dis-ease found in the systems. Hence the three together have been quite the triumphant trifecta, and they all provide the same stimuli function in a very powerful vibrational compound interest format. And so that, of course, would be the entire of the hood besides the fulgurite seen right here. This is right here is fulgurite, which is literally lightning striking sand carrying the impact of the powers of lightning, which was a spiritual tool utilized by shamans of antiquity to resonate with lightning to intensify their magic or their prayers in service to whatever beneficent cause they were serving under. And so that's a very fun fact. And also, the power of lightning goes a very long way, strapped to an apparatus naturally. So it makes for a very powerful, once again, full light body activator as well as an intensification of manifestation with literally harnessing the power of lightning. Very fun fact. So that would be the entirety of the hood section now notarized. Then at the very apex of the core, right here, this would be a lovely bead of ruby. Red ruby is perhaps one of the most famous crystals, just to the same royal cliche of emerald and whatnot. So ruby, a very famous crystal, is the most intensive root chakra stimulant in the mineral kingdom to make a very dramatic zest for life, enthusiasm, grounding vibration. And also, of course, a very, very famous crystal of abundance in classic crystal magic application as well. So that'd be virtually all the crystals in nearly record time, the catalog so far. So next, I'll be discussing the wooden core of this construct. So back here in the backyard, there's a good friend of mine, an oak tree over here at the tip of my pen that the core came from. So the aspect of the carbon-based core has quite the intrinsic role to work as a carbon-based transference to the carbon-based platforms of the human avatar for now. And also makes for a very nice way to, of course, make a earth bandwidth transfer, carbon-based transferability with the silica apparatus built around it. So it distinctly has a distinct purpose right there, as well as oak is quite the famous wood of druidic legend, heroes, gods, kings. I will omit that, but the aspect of wood of oak is quite dense, so its atomical grain is quite encouraging to a very strengthened carbon-based transference, which is strength. Then affixed to that would be selenite seen right here. So the white crystal seen here under the core of the device is that of selenite. Selenite by itself is a very fantastic 6th, 7th, 8th non-physical chakra return back to one's Godhead that works very diligently to clear debris between one's conscious self and one's higher self, which is already its own merit. And with that high frequency connection induction, also works very diligently to purify and burn off stagnant energies found in the entire system, not of one's divine essence, as another master healer, which is already fantastic by itself. But where it truly shines in this entire dissertation thus far of 15.5 minutes is this critical feature. It can take an entire crystal group, seen right here, generating vibrational compound interest through common ground termination. It can work to purify all of these crystals. It can work to amplify all of these crystals, but perhaps most importantly, works to also to harmonize and bring equilibrium to the entire crystalline pitch range, which is a very triumphant trifecta in its own right, for maximum efficiency befitting a spiritual. And affixed to the white selenites on both sides would be that of kyanite, seen over here. So black kyanite is the most rapid transfer of energy in the mineral kingdom, hence my merit of whimsically fast penmanship description, is black kyanite is the most rapid black ray transfer in the mineral kingdom, absolutely quick as possible, to serve as a surge protector and to rapidly ensure the excess energy of this output is indeed tapping into the Earth Meridian matrix for ridiculously fast reprocessing by the speed of quantum light, quite frankly, which is quite contingent for such a high-yield, little, grounded abundance power pack. To have a constant grounding contact patch to ground this into the Earth is a huge contingency towards making the magic real. And by golly, in record-breaking time, I'm nearly done with this video. So, of course, it's quite the dynamic little wearable talisman that hits quite the diverse spectrum range. But like I mentioned, this would be the 49th rendition of the Abundance platform that has generated substantial vibrational compound interest and tangibility across the globe at this point. And this is another entry in that field. Well, 1,000 blessings, and may the force be with us.